Answer is 28. Answer is 39. Last one. Answer is 29. Everybody had that right. Time for the homework check. You can bring it up here and show me what you have. Homework answers. Number 1 is 10. Number 2 is 1. 3 is 19. 4 is 183. 5 is 27. 6 is 46. 7 is 6. 8 is 56. 9 is 14. 10 is 16. Now this is a phone alert. This is to let you know to have your app ready if you have the phone app, so that there's something coming up here in a little bit, so that you don't have to start it and open it and we take a bunch of time when it comes up. And I'll put these in at least a few slides ahead of time so you can get ready. Questions about homework? Anybody have any questions? Today is evaluating functions. It's just a little different. It's just a mix of what we've done before. We'll go on to something new next Monday. I won't be here tomorrow or Friday. And then we'll have a test on Friday of next week. Now here's the extra credit. Here's your first one for today. Alright, example number 1. Functions with square roots, absolute values, and powers. Now for the walk-bys, here's how we'll do those today. What I'm going to do is an example on the screen. If you can get the answer to it before I finish it, drop it off up here and I'll pay you for it. But you have to have put it on the table before I finish the problem. I'm not going to go fast. It's an example. So if you get it done ahead of time, you can drop it off on the table. If not, then it's just an example. You'll have practice coming up. Okay, f of x equals x times the quantity squared of x minus 2 plus x. Find f of 2. So f of 2 would be 2 times quantity squared of 2 minus 2. Close the quantity and then plus 2. So we'll have 0 squared, which gives us a 0. And then 0 plus 2 will be 2. Another walk-by. F of x equals x plus the absolute value of x plus 3, close the absolute value, minus x squared. So f of negative 4 will be negative 4 plus the absolute value of negative 4 plus 3, close the absolute value, and then minus a negative 4 squared. So that'll simplify down to this, and then you'll have minus 16 at the end. Negative 4 plus 1 minus 16 is negative 3 minus 16, which is negative 19. Example number 2. Combining a couple of scenarios here. If you can get this answer before I finish the example, then I'll give you money for it. F of x is the quantity squared of the absolute value of the square root of x minus 20. So f of 361 would end up looking like this. And then the square root of 361 is 19. Take away 20. And then you end up with the absolute value of negative 1, which is going to be 1, square that to get 1. Here's another walk-by. If you can get this before I do, then I'll give you money for it. F of x is the absolute value of x times the quantity squared of square root of x plus 2. So when you plug in 9 for this, this is what you're going to have to start with, and then go back and simplify. Square root of 9 is going to be 3. add that to 2 to get a 5. And you're going to end up with the absolute value of 225, which is 225. Practice number 1. On the practice, it should be the absolute value of 9 times the quantity squared of the square root of 9 minus 8. Close the quantity squared, then close the absolute value, and then plus 9. So work your way from the inside out. That's a 3, and minus 8 is negative 5. So 9 times negative 5 squared, all of that in absolute value, and then plus 9. So back here you're going to have 25 from this. 25 times 9 is 225. And of course that would still be 225 plus 9. Answer should be 234. Bonus number 1. The answer should be 25. Everybody that brought one up had that right. Practice number 2. On the practice, looks like we have a few different answers. F of 4. So we'll have the absolute value of 3 times the square root of 4, and then minus 12, close the absolute value. That's going to be 3 times 2 in here, which is a 6. And then minus 12 is negative 6, but the absolute value makes it 6. Bonus number 2. Answer on the bonus should be 9. Everybody had that. Phone alert. In a few slides you'll have another extra credit problem you can scan, so have your phone ready on the scan screen. Example number 3. Including powers of functions for this one. Walk by. If you get this before I do, you can have 2 million. Alright, so we have f squared of 5. That means we're going to have to do f of 5 first. So that would be 5 times 5 minus 5, and that's the quantity squared of 5 minus 5. And then plus 5 squared. So that's 5 times 0. 0 squared is 0. And then plus 25. 0 plus 25 gives me an answer of 25. Well, that's not the end of the problem. My fault. We still have to go back and put in 25.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Put in 25 for x. So 25 times the quantity squared of 25 minus 5. Close the quantity and then plus 25 squared. So that would be 25 times 20 squared is what this would be. So that's 400. And then plus 625. So 25 times 400. 25 times 400 is what we have to do next. And then add 625. You should get an answer of 10,625. Another walk by. F squared of 2. So we have to start with f of 2. And then the absolute value of 2 plus 3 times the quantity squared of 2 minus 1. Close the quantity. Minus 11 and close the absolute value. So go inside and work your way out. 2 minus 1 is 1. Squared is 1 times 3 is 3. So we have 2 plus 3 minus 11. 2 plus 3 is 5 minus 11 is negative 6. So that would be an answer for 6 for the first part. And then we put in 6 for the second part. And go through and evaluate that. I'll change colors. That would be 5 squared is 25 times 3 is 75. And then we'll go back and evaluate this. 2 plus 75 is 77, minus 11 is 66. Absolute value is 66. Extra credit number 2. You can scan that and bring it back on Monday when I return. Example number 4. Fractions. Walk by. If you get this before I do, I'll give you money for it. In this problem, you have to put in 3. So f of 3 is 3 times 3 plus 5. All of that over 4 times 3 minus 2. That would be 9 plus 5 over 12 minus 2. Simplify that to 14 over 10. And you'll get a final answer of 7 over 5. Another walk by. If you get this before I do, you'll get money. Alright, we need f of 2. So we'll have 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus 4 over 4 times 2 plus 8. So that's 4 plus 4 plus 4 on the top and 8 plus 8 on the bottom. That would be 12 over 16, which will reduce down to 3 over 4. Practice number 3. For the practice, f of 3 is going to be 10 times 3 minus 5 over 5 times 3 plus 15. That is 30 minus 5 over 15 plus 15, which is 25 over 30. Cancel to get 5 over 6. Bonus number 3. Practice problem number 4.
Oh my gosh, okay.
On the practice,
Oh my god.
we have f of 6, so that's going to go in as negative 6 times 6 minus 6 over negative 8 times 6 plus 4. That'll be negative 36 minus 6 over negative 48 plus 4. That is negative 42 over a negative 44. But the negatives cancel out, and you can reduce. 21 over 22 is the answer. Bonus number 4.
I just can't do it.
Answer is 1. Everybody had that. Answer these questions out loud. What is f to the 6th power of 1 if f of x equals 3x minus 2, and explain why the answer is what it is. Every time you put 1 in here, the answer comes out to be 1, so you keep putting it back in, the answer is still 1. Answer this question. Why is f of 0 not equal to 0 if f of x equals this? Everything cancels out to 0 with the exception of your constant at the end, which is minus 2. Let's see here. Nope. Here's the third extra credit you can turn in on Monday. Today's homework is due on Monday, since I am out on Thursday and Friday.